underway. The final seconds of the third quarter. Dolphins 21, Jets 3. This message and a word from your CBS.
The Jets take on the Patriots next Sunday at 1 on CBS 2.
And we go to the fourth quarter. Dick Enberg with Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein, 21-3 Miami. Last four meetings here at Giant Stadium, the Jets have outscored the Dolphins in the fourth quarter 65-14. Well, they're going to need to come up with a big fourth.
I mean, this has all just been a big setup tonight.
Got them right where they want them. Fake to Williams. Fiedler. Hit from behind. Fumbles. And the Jets appear to have the ball unless Fiedler able to reach it at the last minute. No official word yet. Yes. Yep. Jets have it.
What hustle by Sean Ellis. Boy, that was some real hustle by Ellis.
And Chester McLaughlin, old Chester, knocked it free.
It's in the game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. And by MGM's Out of Time, starring Denzel Washington.
Look back across the Hudson River. Shots from the Saturn Lightship. The team on the Saturn Lightship hopes you're enjoying a unique look from high above the Meadowlands. Well, the fans enjoy that unique look at a hit of Fiedler and a fumble, and they take over the Jets at the Miami 48. Trailing 21-3 early in the fourth quarter. Vinny down the middle to prevent, incomplete. And what a hit by Brock Mary, and a flag down the spot where Testaverde threw the ball.
There is no infraction on the play. There is no infraction on the play.
All right, let's go back and take a look at this. This is outstanding hustle by Sean Ellis. Watch Sean Ellis. There he is, number 19. He gets hit right there. Does he quit? No. Dig, 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 and he finally catches up to Jay Fiedler and knocks the ball loose. Nobody told Sean Ellis that the Jets were losing, and maybe I ought to take it easy.
Chester McLaughlin falls on the football.
That was some outstanding work by Sean Ellis.
Lamont Jordan with his jersey off on the sidelines for the Jets. Shovel pass to Jordan. 45-yard line. Ogunleye makes the tackle. Apparently that wasn't Jordan on the sideline. Premiering Thursday on CBS, the new survivors think they have time to prepare. They're wrong. We're throwing them overboard without warning and with nothing but the clothes on their backs. So get ready for the wildest survivor ever. Survivor Pearl Islands premieres this Thursday at 8 p.m. on CBS.
Tell you what, Ogunleye is becoming an awfully nice compliment to Jason Taylor.
Underneath, complete. Conway has the first down. Out of bounds at the 34.
Well, this is a lot of work for Curtis. He starts clear on the opposite side of the field. Runs that drag route right across underneath. That is always where a wide receiver has to break tackles. You're only going to catch the ball maybe 4 or 5 yards up the field. It's all based on breaking tackles.
Passing chart for Vinny Testaverde. He's picking all the zones, isn't he? Testaverde down the middle. Through the hands. Santana Moss. Right there. Terrell Buckley covering, but Moss knows he should have had that one.
If that's the second play of the game, maybe it's not that big a deal, but all mistakes are magnified in the fourth quarter. He was aware of the fact that Terrell Buckley was right behind him, but geez, that Vinny couldn't have delivered it any better than that.
Second down. 13:31 left in the fourth quarter. Jets desperate for a touchdown here. 2nd and 10. That screen to Gerald Soule, a fullback, and it doesn't do much as Patrick Surtain and Jason Taylor had it surrounded. Soul, who has replaced Richie Anderson, and it was interesting yesterday when we talked to Jason Taylor, that was the name that came up. It wasn't just Lavernius Coles, but he said, you know, they really miss Richie Anderson. He did a lot of things that made it tough on our defense.
Well, Richie Anderson did a lot of the little things. He was a good blocker. Of course, everybody knows him as an excellent receiver, but he's a guy that didn't drop the crucial pass. If it was anywhere near Richie Anderson, he caught it.
3rd and long. Going long, open, touchdown, Santana Moss.
Well, nobody remembers that first drop now. What a strike by Vinny Testaverde. The old man can still chuck it. Working on the outside. Sam Madison got, oh boy, what a move. Vinny spun around. Santana put a little juke on him. And what, that is just a superior pass by Vinny Testaverde. Unbelievable.
32-yard touchdown play. Doug Bryan adds the extra point, and there's still life pumping in the Jets' veins. 48 yards for the touchdown after the fumble recovery. Quite a day for Santana Moss. In fact, his career high 123 yards on 4 catches. That last one for 32 and a score. Had a 61-yarder earlier. So 21-10 and plenty of time. 12:42 left in the 4th. Bryan tees it up. Travis Minor and Charlie Rogers deep for Miami. There's Rogers. Has 2 lifetime career touchdown returns on kickoffs. Not this time. Bryan belts it deep into the end zone. Touchback. Now it's up to the Jets defense.
Tell me about your dream.
September 26th.
Welcome back from the 20. Miami. Ricky Williams. A gain of 4 on 1st down. This Jets crowd alive after Santana Moss grabbing that 32-yard perfect throw from Vinny Testaverde to get the Jets their first touchdown in more than a game. Reminder, this is the first game of our doubleheader today. New England, Philadelphia. Those 2 teams know the loser is 0-2. Denver at San Diego. The Raiders host Cincinnati next on CBS.
Well, you'd think the Jets would have 8 people up in the box. They're sitting there with 7. They smelled pass and they got it.
Ricky Williams in the flat. Well covered. 3rd down and 3.
You'd think after Ted Cottrell, he took a chance and he sniffed something out. You'd think they were going to have Ricky Williams come again, but take a look at the Jets secondary. They got 4 guys deep. They were thinking pass, and that's what they got. They were able to fly to the football.
Marvin Jones, a veteran, over to make the tackle.
Yep.
3rd and 3, 11 and a half minutes to go. Crowd on its feet. Empty backfield. Fiedler, quick throw, incomplete. Darius Thompson, and a very, very late flag is thrown.
A very late flag.
Pass interference. 23. Defense. First down.
Jamie Henderson. It took a long time to find the flag.
You see him lined up right there, working to the inside on Darius Thompson, and yeah, he was all over him. And by the way, did that penalty get Norv Turner off the hook a little bit from some second guessing? You got Ricky Williams. You want to eat up the clock. You want to protect the lead, and you pass on both 2nd and 3rd down when it was only 2nd and 5.
Now first down after the penalty, and Williams threading his way to the 35-yard line. Tough 3 yards earned, and the clock continues to wind down near 11 minutes to go. Sundays this fall on CBS, Catherine Moore stars in the next great crime drama from CSI executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Don't miss the premiere of Cold Case. That's 2 weeks from tonight, right here on CBS, right after 60 minutes. Dolphins break huddle. Ricky Williams, a solo back with 111 yards rushing today of the 173 for Miami, and he gets the call. They've got him. Sam Cowart.
Somebody has to make the big play, and Sam Cowart, the outside linebacker, gets upfield. He chose his gap correctly and comes up with a big play. Sam Cowart, the guy who said, I went to Florida State because I wanted to be Marvin Jones. And here they are playing side by side on the same football team.
Third down, 13. Under 10 minutes left in the fourth. They get it off just in time. Fiedler with a pump. Great coverage. Now he throws. Incomplete through the hands of James McKnight, who is struggling along the sidelines, tried to make a one-handed grab.
Oh, and Dave Wantz, that was screaming. He wanted interference called. He thought Ray Mickens wasn't playing the ball and interfered with his guy, but Mickens did a good job at the last minute of turning his head around and playing the football. That was good coverage by Ray Mickens.
Now the incomplete pass stops the clock. 9:40 left. Santana Moss. He has the hot hand for the Jets. Mark Royals, the veteran, who is a number 8 all-time in number of punts, spins one to Moss at the 31. And he's well covered at the 36. 9:28 left in the fourth. The Jets have the ball, trailing by 11.
At CDW, get more.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by CDW, the right technology right away. New Gillette Sensor 3. And by Wachovia Securities. Together, we can achieve uncommon results.
And welcome back. Dick Enberg, Dan Dierdorf, Bonnie Bernstein here at Giant Stadium. The Jets trying to come back from a 21-3 deficit. Herm Edwards' team has the ball back at their own 36. Testaverde with 3 wide receivers and Curtis Martin in the backfield. Actually 4 wide. Corbett slot right. Gives to Martin. Slams out to the 43-yard line. Good gain on first down of about 7. Zach Thomas, the tackler.
A formula that a lot of people like to use against the Dolphins, spreading the field with wide receivers and then going ahead and running the football, trying to negate some of that speed by going straight at them. You get your running back going parallel to the line of scrimmage, you're not going to run away from this Miami defense.
Corbett and Moss to the right. Curtis Conway to the left. 2nd and 2. Complete. Soul, the fullback. First down at the Miami 49. Let's go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you there, Dick. And Buffalo's pulling away from the Jags. They've just scored a couple of touchdowns in a short span. This was the first one. Bledsoe to Eric Moulds. Travis Henry just scored his 3rd of the day, and it's 35-10 with 1 minute to play, 3rd quarter. Back to Dick and Dan.
All right, Jim, and Drew Bledsoe and the Bills off to a serious start.
And look what Miami did in the first 2 quarters versus what they've done here in the 3rd and the 4th. Drastic reduction.
First down, and the ball batted back to Testaverde, who knocks it to the turf. Testaverde's pass is incomplete. Looks like he was going to go downfield to Moss again.
Outstanding pass protection. Finney has all sorts of time to survey the field, but Wally Ogunleye gets up and knocks it down. Again, I talked earlier, this some complement of fast and quick and agile defensive ends in Ogunleye and Jason Taylor on the other side.
Saw that Staten Island Ferry. Ogunleye used to take that. That's where he played his high school football. Martin doesn't even get a chance to catch it. Zach Thomas, uniform to uniform. What else is happening? Let's go to Jim Nance.
Well, it's the same old thing for Priest Holmes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Almost automatic inside the 5. Holmes has 2 touchdowns on the day. It's 35-20 as we start the 4th quarter at Arrowhead. Back to Dick and Dan.
All right, Jim, that old student body right, Dick Vermeil using the USC plan. Boy, they go wide really well.
Does the term tried and true come to mind?
They can score, that team. 3rd down and 10 for Testaverde. And they've got him for the first time today. Jason Taylor and Jay Williams from the 2 sides pinch Testaverde.
Well, if they just didn't have such a big negative play, it might have been in a field position where they might have gone for it on 4th down, but not after this. No way after giving up this large of a loss can you afford to try to go for it on 4th down.
That looks like a half a sack each for Taylor and Williams.
Yeah.
And it would be Jason Taylor's first half sack of the season after those 18 and a half a year ago. Rodgers back at the 15. Straczynski the punt. Beautiful high kick. Rodgers lets it go. And the Jets will down it at the 5-yard line. 7:23 left in the 4th quarter. Miami leading 21-10.
I am a death dealer.
This Sunday in 2 weeks.
With Miami leading by 11, we're going to show you it's no fun to be a gunner. Bates meets Charlie Rodgers, drops him like a shot. And watch this hold. Terrell Buckley, look at that. He just grabs Jamie Henderson by the back of the jersey on the far side of the field, drags him down and gets away with it.
From the 5-yard line, Miami with a 21-10 lead here in the middle of the 4th quarter, and it's Ricky Williams out to the 8-yard line. Let's go to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, as you watch Miami's defense on the bench, you can see all they're thinking about is the next time they have the chance to get on the field. Dave Wanstead brought a game up from last year. He said, remember when we played the Chargers and we were so worried about LaDainian and Tomlinson? He said, my team only missed 3 tackles that day. They did not have focus against Houston. It is completely the opposite reaction today. They have steely-eyed faces on that bench.
Yeah, that's right, Bonnie. Missed tackles equate to losing football games. That's pretty basic rule. Ricky Williams out to the 15. That'll be close for a first down. Gives us a chance to take a look at the numbers. Rushing yards, a dominant running game for the Dolphins, led by Ricky Williams. And the passing game, the Jets getting some big plays from Testaverde and Santana Moss on the receiving end.
And 2 weeks in a row that the New York Jets, as we see them losing in every statistic, really have to be disappointed in their running game. Curtis Martin only able to run the ball 15 times for 48 yards in the opener. That loss to the Redskins, and now another non-productive day. Today, 10 for 32.
First down, Ricky Williams hit at the line of scrimmage, and maybe a half yard on that play. Chester McLaughlin, one of those to throw 300 pounds plus at Ricky Williams. He's down to about 340.
Miami, we showed you earlier their beautiful record in the month of September, and as you can see, they don't like to get off to bad starts. They've only done it 1 time in the last 33 years.
1988 they started 0-2. On 2nd and 9 with the clock running at 5:20. Williams gets outside. Plenty of green shirts there to bring him down at the 16. Let's go back to Jim Nance and this update.
All right, after rookie Kyle Bowler was pulled because of a helmet to the thigh injury, Chris Redman fumbled on his first snap and set up this play right here. The Browns' first touchdown of the season. Kevin Johnson from Kelly Holcomb, 3-point game. Ravens in front. Final seconds, 3rd quarter. Back to you two.
Boy, they were hungry, those Browns fans, for just a touchdown. Finally get one. And we have a timeout. New York Jets.
Boom.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel Direct Connect walkie-talkie. Connect instantly from coast to coast. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Jets using their first timeout, stopping the clock with 5:10 left to go. 3rd and 9 facing Jay Fiedler and the Miami Dolphins. Fiedler, who grew up in Long Island, in fact, just 20 minutes or so away from Vinny Testaverde. He has New York roots. He said as a kid he rooted for the Jets and Ken O'Brien and Freeman McNeil and those teams. Now trying to beat him. 3 wides. And Ricky Williams. Ooh, dangerous pass, complete, short yardage to tight end Randy McMichael. And the Jets will get the ball.
But I like the fact that Ted Cottrell decided to force the issue, and he comes with the blitz. He's coming with everybody up the middle, and he's got, that means you're going to have the quick support and the tight coverage, and Sam Garnes that time exactly what he had. That's no time to sit back and let the Dolphins dictate. Go ahead and you be the dictator.
Santana Moss, dangerous return man, and Royals has come close to having one blocked today, standing at his 5. 4.5 minutes left. Driving kick toward the sidelines to Moss. Eludes the first man and then ducks out of bounds. A flag is down, however.
That was really a good job by Royals of pinning Moss up against the sideline. You don't want to give it to him out there anywhere near the hash marks. The closer you can get him to a sideline, the more effective of a punt that is.
Yeah, sidelines becomes part of the defense as Jacoby Shepard.
Illegal blocking back. Number 23 of the receiving team during the return.
Looked to be Jacoby Shepard, 32. 23 was Jamie Henderson.
There it is right there taking place in the back.
Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, Johnny Cash, the man, the artist, the legend, profiled as only 60 Minutes can tonight after football. Then it's Without a Trace at a special time, followed by the CBS Sunday movie Out of Sight. It stars George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. And coming up next, the second half of our doubleheader. Check your local listings. New England and Philadelphia off to 0-1 starts. Big game in Philly. First down, trailing by 11, the Jets. 4:19 left. Complete to Corbett. First down at the 43. Sam Madison, the tackler.
And now we'll get a hurry up out of the Jets. Get up to that line as quickly as you can.
And the clock now to 4 minutes left.
Miami going with only 3 guys up front, but then comes Junior.
Underneath to Corbett, side steps, and then is twisted down at the 48. Madison again.
See, it's not a blitz if you only have 3 guys and then you have a linebacker come, even though it looks like a blitz. Anything that is just a 4-man rush is just a standard front.
Back 4 of Sammy Knight and Brock Marion, the 2 safeties, really playing deep now, and Zach Thomas drifts back. Complete to Moss. And there's Thomas. That's how deep he was, making the tackle at the 34-yard line. First down, 3:15 to go.
Well, the Miami Dolphins playing a lot more zone this year than they ever have before. And sometimes they're making some mistakes along the way. And receivers are finding some pretty big holes, something you're not used to seeing in the Miami secondary.
Jets have 2 timeouts left. And Moss unable to hang on to the pass in front of Patrick Surtain. Stops the clock at 2:57.
Junior Seau there, he's getting a head start. I'd say he's picked up. Pretty good job by Brent Smith, the right guard. He just sends Junior sailing over the pile. That's the risk when you blitz up the middle. Sometimes you end up leaving as quickly as you arrived.
Searching, throwing, incomplete. Moss had that one. Surtain on the coverage, and that's a couple of balls that Moss thought he should have caught.
Yeah, along with everyone else. Santana Moss. Vinny, look at that. Oh, that actually, Pratt Surtain actually got his right hand on that. Check that back. That Surtain gets a hand on that and deflects the ball up into the upper shoulder pads of Santana Moss.
A big play by the man who made the Pro Bowl for the first time last year. Played his college ball at Southern Mississippi, and he gives the Dolphins that great package of Madison on one side and Surtain the corner on the other. 3rd and 10. Vinny goes long for Conway. He was open, but not quite connecting.
And we're going to get a holding call, Dick, against the Jets. They're going to get Jason Fabini against Jason Taylor.
Jets, the team.
Fabini has done a good job on Taylor today.
So it's 4th and 10.
69. Offense. Still 3rd down.
They'll take the 10-yard penalty and make it 3rd and 20.
Well, you know, they want to move them back out of field goal range, albeit a long field goal, but back them up.
Sorry to say, the Jets and Herman Edwards, and it's testimony to how well he coaches and the discipline of the team. If you add this year's statistics to the last two, they're the least penalized team in the NFL. Had only 1 penalty in the game at Washington to start the season, 4 today. Oh, Vinny just does get away, and now fires right into the hands of Surtain. And Patrick Surtain has his first interception of the year, his 19th career, and that'll just about do it for the Jets and Herman Edwards. 2:37 to go.
It's no surprise at 39 years old if you can get Vinny to move. That initially good protection, but Vinny has nowhere to go, can't find a receiver, and at this stage of the game, look at it, he knew the minute he threw it. Did you? When's the last time you saw a quarterback throw a ball and immediately go? Watch Vinny, watch him right after he throws it. Oh no. He knew the minute he let it go, it went right to him. But Vinny's just trying to make something happen. The Miami secondary took everything away prior to that. I think Vinny, he gave it what he had to give.
Yeah, he did. 2 timeouts left, plus the 2-minute warning for the Jets. Williams to the 36-yard line, and the Jets will spend one of those 2 timeouts. Exactly 2.5 minutes to go. Patrick Surtain, happy man with his interception.
When you're 0-2, Dick, you're 0-2. But I have to say this about Vinny Testaverde. Don't drop this loss at his doorstep. The lack of a running game has really hurt the Jets. And I think Vinny played the quarterback position today well enough to win if he had some help.
He made some really very accurate and difficult throws. Yeah. And those 24 for 38, nearly 300 yards. As he approaches the 40,000 in his next game, he'll have enough yards undoubtedly to pass the 40,000-yard mark. No mean feat in this National Football League. In fact, he'll be in the top, what, 4 or 5. Well, there it is, 9th.
Just
9th.
It's the same old story, though. The last play is the one that counts, and that'll stick with him all week.
Ricky Williams, and the Jets will spend their final timeout here, and they have the 2-minute warning coming up. Well, the Jets, you know, they're used to this. Sadly, they start slowly, and they've had terrific finishes. How about last year? 1-4. They were 2-5, in fact, and wound up winning the AFC East.
Yeah, the 9-7. Of course, that's where 2 other teams finished 9-7 as well, and the 4th team's 8-8. Playing in this AFC East takes a toll. Of course, last year they had the wonderful story of Chad Pennington coming in and taking over the club in the 5th game of the season.
And Chad Pennington, such a spirited young man out of Marshall, and he was trying to fire up his teammates using his good hand and protecting that broken left wrist.
Yeah, well, I got news for Chad. That broken left wrist is his non-throwing hand. He doesn't need to break a finger slapping somebody on the helmet with his passing hand, but hey, that's the kind of unbridled enthusiasm the guy has.
3rd and 4. Ricky Williams, who else? And he moves the pile close, but about a half-yard short of the first down, and they'll run the clock down to the 2-minute timeout. And it'll be 4th and a yard. And the Jets apparently will get another chance for the football, but you know, you look back in the game and you can how about the time when they were down on the 3, 4th and goal at the 3, and you go for it for a touchdown or a field goal? Didn't. Went for the touchdown. Seemed to be the popular call that Herm Edwards made, but now he'd like to have that 3 points in his pocket and be within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion of tying the game.
We're going to see how close Miami is to a first down. Looks about another football and a half.
And they'll run the clock to the 2-minute warning time. As soon as Johnny Greer winds it up. 3 long touchdown drives for the Miami Dolphins that led to touchdowns and this 21-10 lead, and we're at the 2-minute timeout.
You're not.
September 23rd.
And welcome back to the contentious AFC East, and we're going up to New England, the Jets and Patriots next week, and you know, every week it's a grind.
Well, it is a grind, and of course for the New York Jets, their fans knew that it was a real uphill struggle when they lost Chad in the 4th preseason game, and yet it's the lack of a running game that's really hurt the Jets so far, and of course until they can break Curtis loose, they're not going to get any relief.
Santana Moss, a very difficult over-the-shoulder catch down to the 13, and we go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, I think it's safe to say at this point that Junior Seau's passionate speech to his teammates before the game has paid off. He said, you have to understand, football is only a game if you win. If you lose, it's a business, and you have to watch film all week, and you're miserable. But Dave Wanstead, just a few seconds ago, a quick reminder to his players, the game's not over yet. You got to finish it off.
All right, so Junior, who says respect comes from the everyday walk. The everyday walk means you get respect when you're in the weight room and when you practice and then when you play, and he's been that kind of guy throughout his career. His passion is so obvious, and he is an inspirational sort. Testaverde to the sidelines. To Sol trying to get out of bounds, does not. And the Jets have no more timeouts.
I know that the Jets rushing total is skewed a little bit because they've been behind so much and have to play catch up, but still here's one for you. Curtis Martin has only 21 yards rushing today. Jay Fiedler has 35. Now coming into this game, I don't think the Jets anticipated Curtis Martin being outrushed by Jay Fiedler.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 69, offense. Still first down.
Fabini ticketed again, so that'll take it back inside the 10-yard line to the 7-yard line. Well, yeah, and you have to ask the question, Dan, with Curtis Martin, who's been a brilliant player, is it lack of blocking, a lack of offensive line, or is maybe he just doesn't have the spurt that he once owned? The throw is complete, and it's Curtis Conway out to the 30-yard line on the first down.
Well, today I'm going to give credit to the Miami defense. This is an outstanding. This defense, let's face it, this isn't really a big shock today. The Miami Dolphins have more good football players than do the New York Jets. So they should win this game, especially given what happened to them last week.
Look at that underhand pass to Lamont Jordan. Just an underhand sling for 17 yards to the 47-yard line. Rob Burnett was in the backfield.
Look at that. Vinny being a little creative.
Under 1 minute to go, 55 seconds left. Sideline almost intercepted as Sam Madison all over that pass.
Well, the key for Miami today, they had great balance. They were running the football on the ground. There's an example of Jay Fiedler taking it in for a touchdown. They were doing a good job passing, that time to McMichael for a score. But of course the hammer was coming at the Jets all day long. Ricky Williams.
Finally, the Jets getting it to 21-10. If you look at Ricky Williams when Vinny Testaverde hit Santana Moss 32 yards for a touchdown. Vinny only 11 more yards to hit 40,000. And he's going to get it right here. Lamont Jordan gets much more than that, and a first down at the 33-yard line. Written down by Zach Thomas. So a significant throw for Testaverde, apparent defeat. 40,000 yards in his great career that started at Tampa Bay as the first player pick.
I hope nobody asked him in the post-game press conference how much that meant to him.
Yeah. 10 years from now, it'll mean something.
Yeah, I don't. Given the fact that they suffered a loss today, I think Vinny's not going to have much to do with 40,000 yards.
Vinny's going to down this one to try to save one last play, and he'll get it with 8 seconds, maybe a couple of throws. And this is the company that he keeps with now at 40,000 yards. Dan Marino, the old-timer. John Elway, 51 plus. How about Warren Moon? That's just in the NFL. The scrambler, Fran Tarkenton. Dan Fouts at 43,000. Brett Favre still going at 42, and Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas. That is some solid Hall of Fame company.
Well, of that group, and we'll see what happens here, Dick. Of that group, the one that really jumps out at me is Johnny Unitas with 40,000 yards, because that was not a pass-happy National Football League when Johnny Unitas played.
And the season was 12 games long.
The rules have been changed. It's a whole lot easier to throw the football than it was when Johnny Unitas was throwing it to Raymond Berry. It's what an accomplishment by Unitas to get 40,000 yards.
Number 69, offense, still third down.
Now, having said that, congratulations to Vinny. He does enjoy entering a really exclusive fraternity, and it's well deserved.
Another penalty on Fabini. Tough quarter for him, his third 10-yard penalty. So at the 41-yard line, last play of the game, and they'll spread it out, and so will the defense of the Dolphins, all the way back to the 10-yard line. And then they throw underneath to Lamont Jordan, and Zach Thomas can't get him. Now he gets him from behind, and that's the end of the game. Now the Jets rack up a lot of passing yards late, but in a meaningless effort at the final minutes of this game as Dave Wanstead and Herman Edwards meet at midfield. The Jets 0-2, Miami 1-1, and the sky isn't falling in South Florida after all.
No, Chicken Little can go back inside.
And Jay Fiedler returned with all of his family, his parents here to cheer him on. A Long Island native, meets with Chad Pennington. And the AFC East moves on to week number 3, but we'll move on to the second game of our doubleheader and the NFL today with all the scores and highlights just across the river in downtown Manhattan. Jay Fiedler ran for a touchdown and ran like a big fullback, and he threw for another and engineered some long drives as the Miami Dolphins have their first win of the season, 21-10 here at the Meadowlands against Vinny Testaverde and the New York Jets.
Wachovia Securities.
And now, Uncommon Performances, presented by Wachovia Securities. Ravens running back Jamal Lewis has had some of his best days versus the Browns, averaging 136 rushing yards. Today, on the second play from scrimmage, he scored on an 82-yard run, the longest run in team history. For more Uncommon Performances, log on to CBSSportsline.com and vote for the Uncommon Performance of the Week. Wachovia Securities. Together, we can achieve uncommon results.
This shot for the